I'm Devorah Wallen, and I'd like to share my Tea for Two, my Torah thought, for 2 minutes more or less. This week's Torah portion is Parshas Vaeira, which means, "and I appeared," referring to God's revelation to the patriarchs on apparently a lesser level than he appeared to Moshe. This parsha includes Moshe's pleas to Pharaoh to let his people go. We all know that Pharaoh, Paro, was unyielding. In our parsha, it says that God hardened his heart several times. According to some of the commentators, this is because Paro lacked the bridge connecting his emotions and his intellect. True wisdom is not intellect divorced from feelings. True wisdom is when there's a flowing communication, a synthesis. If we look at the word Paro, which is spelled Pei, Resh, Ayin, He, and switch the letters around one way, you get Pe-Ra, wicked mouth. Moshe Rabbeinu, who is 80 years old in our parsha, along with his older brother Aaron, are the mouth through which Hashem's words are spoken. The word for mouth, Peh, is 80 in Gematria. Since Moshe was so humble, his mouth became the perfect vehicle and pipeline for God's Torah. The Gemara states that while other prophets saw through a clouded lens, Moshe's vision was clear and unobstructed as an aspeclaria, a window or lens. Our sages say about that clarity that Hashechina medaberes besoch grono shel Moshe, God's presence spoke through Moshe's throat, as if Moshe himself had no ego, God were speaking directly through him. Whereas Paro, on the other hand, was haughty and emotional and had no ability for receiving the truth. He was stuffed up with anger, ego, and pretense. The letters of his name spell Pe-Ra, wicked mouth. Each time Hashem commanded a plague upon Egypt, Pharaoh hardened his heart and refused to let the people go. Another permutation of Paro's name gives us the word Orpah, which means the nape. You may recall that biblical Naomi's daughters-in-law were Ruth, and Orpah. The commentators say that prophetically she was named Orpah because eventually she would turn her nape on Naomi, whereas Ruth remained faithful and steadfast, staying with Naomi after they all became widows. The neck is often associated with stubbornness. The Jewish people are called Am Keshei Oref, a stiff-necked people. The neck is the conduit between the head and torso, mind and body, or the mind and the heart. The neck needs to remain open, free, and unobstructed as a pure channel for bidirectional communication. The Arizal teaches that the above permutation of the letters as Orpah represents Paro's inability to be fully wise, bringing intellect into his emotions. Since our sages say that there is a spark of Moshe Rabbeinu in each of us, let us all strive to amplify that quality. May Hashem give us a taste of Moshe's ability to become conduits for goodness and kindness, becoming yielding and humble, attaining true wisdom.